How's it going, everybody? It is D4 and Pete the Heat back with you on Offside. Before we get into the hype of the show, it is with terrible news. Blackhawks owner Rocky Wirtz has passed away at the age of 70. I'm not sure what it was from, but once you get over 60, you never know what could happen. But
super sad news.
Yeah.
Condolences to the Wirtz family.
Of course, and everybody loves
Dying
Blackhawks.
and to the Blackhawks organization. Super sad news. Really early to die at the age of 70. So rest in peace,
Rocky. Yeah. In other news, a rival that has been a thorn in our side for many years, the notorious 4-3 fault in overtime in 2013. Patrice Bergeron is retiring, I think, after 19 seasons. He is a 6-time Selke Award winner, 1-time Stanley Cup champion, and 3-time All-Star. I got those stats from Weigel, so I hope they're right. I'm sure he wouldn't lead me in the wrong direction.
He's only a 3-time All-Star? Are you sure? But he's go ahead.
Yeah, big news.
Yeah, he retires. I mean, the biggest thorn in the Leafs' butt. Like, this guy was. I'll never forget where I was, what I was doing when he scored that overtime winner to complete the comeback. Like, God damn, finally get him out of this league. But obviously, one of the most respected players. Like I respect the hell 100%. Out of him. He was like, 100%. He did everything with class. So I mean, what a career!
And he's not just your average Joe either. Like, he, even in this past playoff, I know that he went through a lot, but he played with a ruptured lung. I'm pretty sure in 2000, was it 19 or the year that they won?
I'm not remember.
Sure. He played with broken ribs. The man is truly a warrior of, like, I don't know how many players would have went through that. But he was one of the biggest backbones in Boston for the past decade and a half. He is definitely well respected, and you just knew after that first round loss, him and Marshy standing there hugging each other, that it was
hurt.
It was obviously hurt for them, but you knew that something either was going to come, or it was either going to be inevitable, or he was just coming back for the last season. But I think he's put his body through enough. So I think it was the proper goodbye, I guess, because you wouldn't want to hype everybody up again. But
wins the Selke one last time. Now other players can start winning it. But
I'm in a fantasy league, and this guy, I don't know why he made the bet, but he said over the next 15 years, Nico Hischier and Mitch Marner are going to win the Selke over 50%. And he made $1,000 bet with somebody, and I was just like, that is ridiculous.
Explain the terms of this bet over the next few years. How many years?
15. So like a decade and a half.
It's going to be Nico and Mitch winning the Selke.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a long bet. I mean,
I know. I was just like, why would you do it for that long? And I was just like, what happens if they don't win it for like next year or the following?
What happens if you forget about it? What happens if you're not friends with that person anymore? That's I don't know. That's an interesting bet, but 50% of the time that they win the Selke, I don't know about that. That's we'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if other superstars come in and win it. Like Matthews might win it, but who knows? Anyways, speaking of Matthews, breaking news: him and Nylander still haven't signed.
Is that breaking news? I don't know about that. It's what do you think is going to happen here, man?
I've heard a lot of reports, and I know James has been really hard on me about it, but I am under the narrative that these guys need to take a pay cut in order to win. And James is like, I understand that the contracts don't kick in until next year, which is also the year our cap goes up $4 to $5 million, something like that. And I understand that aspect, but if these guys take less of the pie, it can be shared around the team way better, and you have better talent spread elsewhere. You take Colorado for an example. You take Washington Capitals for an example. You take Tampa Bay Lightning for an example. Crosby is a big example of doing this. And I think even though they are in the limelight here in Toronto, I think they do need to take a pay cut. I don't know if 13.5 is a pay cut.
Can you blame Nylander though for asking for what he's asking? I mean, he's already taken a pay cut. Like, why should these guys make more money after not taking a pay cut? Like, he, like, rightfully so, deserves to get the bag he's asking for. I mean, he's not a $10 million player, but
No,
why shouldn't he get 9.5? He put up 40 goals last year. He might do the same this year. He was one of our best players in the playoffs. So, I mean, if I'm him, I'm asking for that money.
I would ask for it too. Like, you honestly do have to put yourself in their shoes. And like, I know we'll get into our signing recently or our arbitration case, but like, let's say Nylander was an arbitration case, and like, you take in a factor, the Leafs want him at like 8 mil and he wants 10. You're gonna find, ultimately, I think that's how contracts kind of happen. Like, you find the middle ground to make everybody happy. But I do think he's worth in between the 8.5 and the 9.5 range. In an open market like UFA, I think he could get 10 mil easily. Like, somebody like Arizona would sign him to that. And that's, at the end of the day, that's up to him to sign that contract. Like, if you want the money, there's the money. But I think these guys want to win. And that's the biggest challenge when coming to a contract, that you have to swallow your pride and take a little bit less. Yeah, I don't know. It frustrates me that these guys don't want less. And I obviously also understand that when you are in the limelight that they're in, it's hard to not want a lot of money, because they take a lot of scrutiny and inside this little lovely place called Toronto, that all the media is on their ass about everything. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's kind of funny though. We're in Toronto. They're not really talking about it right now. I think shit hits the fan after, if maybe the end of August, if one of these guys aren't signed.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna lose their mind, and it's gonna be I don't know, it's gonna be a shit show here in Toronto.
I honestly respect, our little group chat. Like, you take each one of us, and we're not those type of people to react like that. You know what I mean? Like, we're just level-headed, and we're just like, okay, like, it will eventually happen. Like, calm down. But the rest of Leafs Nation is just like, oh, like, running around with.
You mean Leafs Twitter?
Yeah, I also noticed something about Twitter today, but
yeah. I mean, if you want to glance over that with the whole X, is that what you noticed? X, yeah. Elon changed the logo of Twitter. It's X.
Why?
He's moving the platform in a different direction, I think. But yeah, it is X. No more Tweety Bird.
Anyways, yeah, that's interesting. I also heard, I thought this was a joke, but him and Zuckerberg are having a match.
They might be. I think I've heard, like, it's been on and then it's off. Zuckerberg's got his like black belts in jiu-jitsu or something. Like, what? Guys completing side quests, but yeah. Anyways, let's go back on the hockey.
Anyways, so biggest news recently is Sammy has been signed to a 1-year, $3.55 million deal. I was watching Steve Dangle report on it from his kayak on his YouTube channel. The arbitration case is just under about half, which is like 3.6 or something like that. So it's a little bit in favor of the Leafs, I guess, is how I would like to report it in that sense. How do you feel about this and your thoughts on Sammy overall?
Samsonov was amazing in the playoffs. Like he stole game one. Shout out to your microphone. He was phenomenal in the. So did I say game one? I meant the series, like the entire series. Ilya Samsonov stole that fucking series for us. He was phenomenal, and he was good in the regular season too. It was just the injuries that really kind of was his downfall. So
there weren't too many, which was good. He wasn't Matt Murray.
It was interesting that I mean, if you're Brad Treliving, I guess you don't go more than a year, right? Like this isn't really your guy. This is Dubas's guy, so it would have been interesting to see if Kyle Dubas was the GM here. How long of a contract do you think he would have given him? He probably would have been like, "You just saved me from Matt Murray. Here's a couple years, and probably sign him for 3 years at whatever." But I like the signing. 1 year, sure. We have Joseph Wall as a backup, so and we also got to get rid of Matt Murray, but that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah,
but I like the deal. I think
it's
solid. It's pretty much right where I think everyone was expecting it to be. I mean, when we saw what he was asking for and what the team was asking for, it made sense. 3.55 is about right, and I think it'll look good as long as he plays the same way as he did last year. We should be fine in terms of goal.
Yeah, 100%. He played great. He was the first goalie to lead us past the first round, and
that's weird to think about.
God, it is. Steve Dangle, I think, said it best with the length of this contract, and it's kind of inevitable that he most likely will not be our goalie long term, which is, I think, okay. Honestly, and I know James and I touched on this last episode, but I think it's really nice to finally see that we have a goalie that is in our system that is finally stepping up and becoming something. Like, I know that there was hype around, Garrett Sparks and
Justin Pogge.
I think Ben Scrivens, I feel like he was one, but anywho, we've had troubles with goalies in our system.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think this is a step in the right direction with, leading Wool into a bigger role. Obviously, he would be backup /1B here coming into this season. I also have heard rumors that there might be a veteran signed by the Leafs in that. Rumors were Brian Elliott, but I don't know if that's only if there's injuries or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I know that Shalgren is now with the New Jersey Devils.
Forgot about that. Remember how much we love Shalgren?
He did bail us out in big moments when two of our goalies went down. But good for him getting a bag in New Jersey. In other Leafs news, I don't know if you've seen the picture that surfaced the internet of the Kerfoot wedding. It was pretty cool. I loved seeing all the guys all happy and everything. I think it was somewhere northern Ontario, something like that.
I think it was out in so Kerfoot's from British Columbia. I think it was out west.
Oh, okay.
And go ahead.
I heard what had gone on, but Mitch and Bunting both missed.
Bunting.
Was it the plane? I think it was a bus that was taking them.
Was it a bus? I thought it was a flight. Maybe it was a bus, though.
I think it was a bus because they both rented matching Lambos and drove back themselves.
Shut up.
I laughed at that. That's so funny.
They missed their bus and their flight because they were driving their Lambos. Is that the story?
No, they rented Lambos to make it back.
No way. Come on. That's
it was
amazing.
On Open Ice. BR Open Ice, I think is.
Okay. I saw Jesse from Bar Down post a video about it today saying like they missed, I guess, their bus ride or whatever. But Marner seems to be going to a lot of weddings lately. I think he went to Tyson Berry's wedding as well.
Yes.
And Really popular guy, I guess, in the dressing room, eh?
Yeah. So I saw some familiar faces at the Barry wedding. However, they didn't play with Barry. I thought it was very interesting.
Oh,
Sidney Crosby was at that wedding.
really?
Yes. I saw a picture. I'm pretty sure there was Nathan McKinnon, which he played with in Colorado. Justin Hall, he played with in Toronto. Mitchie. I don't think
Crosby
Austin
must have been Nathan's +1.
could have been, but I think they both had their counterpart. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's I don't know. I guess they're like once you're friends with Nathan, you're friends with Sid.
Yeah, you might be superstar
Yeah, they come
level
as a
from
package. That's
the
cool.
Scotia connection, as
The Nova Scotia connection. Yeah.
yeah.
Surprised Marchie wasn't there.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So here it is. They rich enough that they can just book new flight, I guess. Then says Mr. Mitch Marner, the doors are closing. I don't know who the hell is reporting this. Mitch Marner and Michael Bunting must have missed their flights after Kerfoot's wedding, so it was a flight. However, it doesn't say anything about here on the thing, but I think that's funny. They were probably.
It is a funny story.
But yeah, I think Tessa Virtue, Morgan's.
Are they married yet?
I think
Fiance?
they're engaged.
Oh my god, another wedding. Another wedding Mitch is going to go to.
Well, no, Mitch, I wanted to touch on that. Mitchie's wedding is coming up, but he will not say the date so that pictures will just surface randomly out of the blue, and he doesn't have a bunch of raging photographers at his wedding.
We got to figure this date out because it's going to be in the area. It's going to be somewhere.
It's either going to be close to Toronto, which is where he's from, or near London, which is where she is from, and he played here. So I don't know.
She probably calls the shots on that.
She might, but they're probably very secluded, so it might be.
Yeah, well, whatever. We're gonna find for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get the inside scoop here on Offside Hockey Talk.
Other news. Let's see. Oh, James wanted me to talk about this. There was no Matthews at Kerfoot's wedding. I kind of think this is just an assumption. Matthews isn't about the not that he's not about the offside the off-season festivities. I kind of think that he just wants to, do his own thing, be secluded. Who knows? Maybe he has his own honey that he's on vacay with or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't really see him invited to all these weddings, so you don't see wedding photos. I mean, he's in Arizona right now, probably training. He's working on his toe drag release right now, getting ready for the new season. So,
yes,
I mean, who cares? It's not a thing to do.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm not going to worry about it.
I assume he'll be at Mitchie's wedding. That's all I'll say. Those boys got a connection that's unreal. So, I assume he'll be there.
Yeah.
Sure. Somebody that was in that wedding photo, Muzzin. He will be more of an off-ice asset to the team as he travels with the boys everywhere this year. He is somebody that's won a Stanley Cup already. Obviously, he went down with I think it was a concussion, but more or less a neck or a spinal injury of some sort last year.
The neck, yeah.
And so I think Muzzin obviously still wants to be with the boys. Still wants to be around the morale of the team. I think this will be good, not only for him, but also the boys on the team. I think Muzzin could play a big role in what Ryan Reeves is going to be bringing to the team as well. Just get the guys all together when they're on the road or at home and just kind of get the boys clicking all together. We got a big year coming up, so I think that he will be a great asset off ice, obviously.
He seems to be very well liked, so that's, I mean, it's as good as news as we can get right now.
Yeah, of course, and I obviously feel bad for him. Nobody wants to go down with a a damn injury at the final stages of their career, but he was a mammoth, as I would like to say, on the ice, and he's obviously very, very missed still, but his LTIR salary is much appreciated for this team, of course. We have some new additions to the team. I took some pictures here. I think his name is David Clancy, the new
Derek Clancy.
Derek Clancy, sorry. The new assistant general manager. He worked 14 seasons with Pittsburgh Penguins, including its years in the championships, ending with 2 years as its director of player personnel. He also was an ECHL coach. He had a record of 260, 184, and 52. Obviously, I think. Oh, I do recall he was with the Roadrunners, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but he was in the Arizona organization, I do believe, when Tree Living was there. So there was that connection there.
Okay.
Obviously, this is somebody that's going to be an asset, of course. I know that we have a lot of AGMs, but that's just, I think it's kind of like a Toronto thing. We can afford that many assistants.
The more the merrier. There's no salary cap in the office, right? So I guess welcome to the team, Derek Clancy.
Take what you can get. I mean,
yeah.
Of course, these guys are just trying to take pressure off of Tree Living, to be honest. So the more the merrier, to be honest with, is how I feel. 2 assistant coaches have been named to the team. Sheldon Keefe has added Guy Boucher and I think it's Mike Van Ryan. I do believe.
I completely.
I think it's Mike Van Ryan. If I'm wrong,
I just know Guy Boucher, man. That guy is one of the most terrifying coaches. He looks like a Bond villain.
I just remember him yelling and screaming at guys all the time. He is 51. He previously served as head coach with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Wasn't he the Ottawa Senators as well?
Yes, 2010 to 11 and 2012 to 13 in Tampa. Ottawa was 2016 to 2019. Posted a combined record of 191, 186, and 46.
So, is it safe to say that is the guy that is going to probably take over if Sheldon Keefe is?
Now, I was reading that these moves were Sheldon Keefe's.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I think it was said that he wanted to replace Spencer Carberry because he left and went to Washington to take the head coaching position there. Yep. And I don't know who else was being replaced in this situation, but I did hear that basically Sheldon's like, I've been looking for the right guys ever since Spencer left. So I wanted to look. Obviously, he obviously had to find out whether or not he was staying, first of all, and then obviously he went and looked. But yeah, Guy Boucher led Ottawa to the Eastern Conference. Oh, sorry. Yes, Eastern Conference Finals in 2017 and the Eastern Conference Finals in 2011 with Tampa. Mike Van Ryan, he was a former Toronto Maple Leaf. He was an assistant for 5 seasons with St. Louis from 2018 to 2023. He helped St. Louis capture the Stanley Cup in 2019. The London, Ontario native spent 2 seasons with the Arizona Coyotes organization, 1 year as head coach of the AHL team, and then it doesn't say, but he has a pretty good record, and he also coached in the OHL for the Kitchener Rangers. I'm pretty sure, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but there was I don't know what year, but he was playing and he got smashed through the boards where the glass was all over him as a Maple Leaf. That's the only memory, to be honest, I have of him as a Maple Leaf.
He got smashed to the boards. Was that Milan Lucic that put him through?
I think it was
Right? Young Milan Lucic.
Yeah,
I
that
think
would
it
ring a
was.
bell. But yeah, that's the only memory, to be honest, I have of him. Obviously, he knows what he's doing coaching wise, so I think this is a great asset. Both guys have been to conference finals, which is obviously a good thing because these boys need to push it there. So, how do you feel about these acquisitions?
I mean, they seem pretty great hires. Again, I really think Guy Boucher is like the next guy up if Sheldon Keefe gets cut. Like if the Leafs start off like they started off the last 2 seasons,
It always happens too.
It always happens. I wonder if Brad Treliving says, "Yo, Shanny, give me the green light. We're going cutting him." Guy Boucher takes over. Maybe I don't know, but
I don't know. He's a terrifying man. That's all I know.
He is very terrifying, and maybe the boys need a little bit of that in the dressing room. So I like the hires, and we will see when the season starts. We still got a little bit of a ways, but we're halfway through summer, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get ready for hockey.
The dog days of summer have officially started. Obviously, we touched on Muzzin being on the LTIR. However, the Leafs might be able to put Matt Murray, considering I'm pretty sure he failed a physical.
Did he?
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard.
There was no confirmation on it, but
yeah, I mean, he said he was okay to play in the playoffs, but who really knows, right? So
he had a knee injury and concussion, I'm pretty sure, were the two.
Yeah. Oh my God, double whammy. Obviously the Leafs know better than we do if he is fit to play, and if they really needed to, they probably would have moved him by now. You think? I mean, you could buy him out, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious what they're gonna do with him. They must be putting him on LTIR. So.
Send him to Robidas Island.
Robidas Island. Haven't seen that place in a while, have we now?
No. Last guy I remember was Joffrey Lupul.
Joffrey. Oh, man. Great guy. Funny story with the Instagram photo. Posts up a photo of him snowboarding saying, "I can play," and then takes it down like a day later. But good memories.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
So they might be running with a 20-man roster. It says here. I don't know how that would work. 20-man, that's what? 12 forward, 6. Nope. Yeah, 12 forwards, 16, 2 goalies. Yeah.
12 forwards, 60. So that works out to be 18. Oh, plus the 2 goalies. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work out.
Feeling about that, Dylan?
I don't know. Or are you going 5D?
I don't know.
Oh, it could go 11 forwards. 11 forwards, 7D, 2 goalies, which is a roster, but that means there's no one in the press box, basically, is what's occurring in that situation, right?
Right.
I guess is what's going on, because you always normally have 3 guys in the press box.
Well, I don't know. Again,
I don't know. We need more space.
It's all speculation right now. So
of course,
I mean,
of course.
If they do it, we'll see. We'll see. But one guy that who I'm thinking is going to be sitting a lot in the press is got to be Ryan Reeves. I mean, he's an interesting character. Just like he's probably the toughest guy in the NHL. Either him or Wilson, but he's clearly there for the moral support. And apparently he was getting. Was it Sean Avery? Sean Avery was bashing Revo, saying he's going to be a sideshow. Is there a story there?
I don't know the story. However, man, like Sean Avery's all about his silly, stupid antics. Like
He's very good at getting views. Like
yeah,
very,
he is.
he's
Tries
also he's
he
a.
tries to stay engaged as best
I
as
would say he's.
possible. Just for
I really, yeah. Whenever he posts something or he says something, I'm definitely engaged, whether I agree with it or
yeah.
not. But yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it. Like it could be terrible, this Revo signing, but
But like,
especially
let's
for
be
the
real.
term.
To be honest, he probably wishes before he retired, he came to Toronto just to get the bag to sit on his ass.
Wouldn't that be something, eh? You just get a big bag of money, sit in the press box, eat popcorn.
Come
And
in a couple games a year to intimidate the shit out of the league, and that's
I
it.
wonder if Brad Treliving gives him like free beer at the Boston Pizza after the games. Yo, Revo, take the boys out to BP, will ya?
Yeah,
I'll put
yeah.
it on the card.
His
Yeah,
dad would be fully
exactly.
intact.
Good old Jim Treliving.
Jim's probably so happy. He's like, I get to rack in these boys' paychecks.
Yeah, they need to get BP patches instead of milk now.
Yes, they do. That'd be dope. Or even like instead of TikTok, because
the helmet. I always found that weird. They have like social media on their helmets instead of like yeah. I guess TikTok pays
TikTok America. It's TikTok Canada. We have to remember too, which is weird. I don't know.
It is weird.
I didn't know. I think these rumors need to be put to a halt. We're going to be honest here. EK65 is not going to be a Leaf unless there's a lot of subtractions.
It's so stupid because do you follow the score at all? Like you get the notifications and it's like, oh, Erik Karlsson has talked to these teams.
Yeah.
Well, of course the Leafs have inquired about it. Like it could have been like a 5-minute conversation. Like, hey, what's the price for EK65? Oh, okay. See ya. Bye. But yeah, there's no way he's going to come to Toronto. I just like, what do you have to even move to fit that contract? Like they got to retain 50%. And I don't know if you get another team to do that, to take some of that percentage away, the assets you got to give away. It's too complicated. Don't fucking get this guy that had one good season and that could turn into a shit show.
Honestly,
in the words of Sean Avery, I guess like that would just be brutal. I wouldn't risk it. It's not worth the risk.
No, I don't think it's worth the risk. Hell, who knows? He might rupture his Achilles again, but like he's what? I think he still has 4 years left. He's like 34, 35.
Is it 4 years? Holy smokes, man.
Yeah, he got a bag, man. He
makes over 10?
11 mil. It might be even over 11, but 11 mil for I think 8 years, 7-8 years, which is a lot. I think the biggest problem with San Jose is that they've tried to stay relevant for the longest time, but they've failed almost every single time.
Yeah, I mean they went on a run for
they were good.
It was like 20 years in a row. They were finishing first. President's Trophy curse got them a few times, and it was funny because I used to watch like when the Leafs weren't making the playoffs in those sad years, the Phil Kessel era. I was rooting for the San Jose Sharks. Like that was my team, and of course, just like the Leafs, they were a bunch of choke artists as well. So, yeah, I mean, having Erik Karlsson on your team right now is obviously not a good thing, at least for San Jose. But I think, honestly, I think Seattle makes the most sense, right? Like,
true, they don't have I don't think they really have their number one guy on defense. Like they have solid players, but they don't have that number one defenseman. I know that Pittsburgh is also up there, but in terms of Pittsburgh, the toughest thing is what assets are they going to give? They might have picks, but they don't have good prospects. Somebody like Carolina does make sense, but then again, like Brett Pesce would be somebody that would have to leave. And they also just signed DeAngelo to, I don't know if it was 1 year or what, but he's an offensive defenseman. So like, I don't know if they really want to push him down in the limelight kind of sort of thing. But I think San Jose has honestly cuffed themselves in a sense. Like they should have got what they could have got at the trade deadline because
I think the value of him has gone down now.
yeah, like the season's already gone and over with. He could have been a great asset to a team during the playoff run. But now it's the what if, like what will happen come season time? What if he doesn't
the
have
problem
another
is
point of
there's a
point?
lot of term that comes with the Karlsson trade, right? So like even if you did have a good playoff run with Karlsson, you have another, I guess, 3 or 4 seasons, you're saying. And even that's just a gamble for the amount of assets that San Jose was probably asking for.
100%. But yeah, it is what it is. Karlsson has played in the league a long time. He's 33. I'm gonna double check on the term here, but
I think it might be. I thought
11,
there was maybe
11.5.
Okay.
11.5 for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four more.
4 more seasons. Wow.
Like including the one coming up.
Yeah. Of course.
He got $92 million, like signed. That's what he signed to.
That's insane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, $92 million.
That's a big bag of money.
And to be honest, I think it's not San Jose. I think Ottawa looks a lot better from that trade now than what it did.
Who did they get in that trade? I completely forget.
So they got Tim Stützle, which was a pick at the time.
Oh, wow.
They got Josh Norris. I want to say they got Chris Tierney and maybe someone else or another pick or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quite the haul. And of course, San Jose's in the predicament where they want that tight back, right? You don't want to sell yourself short, but they took a risk and it is what it is. But yeah, did you have any other news about the Leafs or about the league that you wanted to talk to?
I mean, there's not much going on right now. I think, in terms of hockey, nothing off the top of my dome here.
I don't know if James and I talked about it, but Connor Bedard did sign his ELC, and I wanted to get your opinion about this. He signed to $950K per year, which comes in just under $3 million total, and with bonuses, he makes $3 million. But I think this is the first year that a rookie has been signed above the $925 cap limit. So I don't know if this is heading in a new direction because of the cap.
Why was $925 the cap limit? Why is it different now?
I don't know. I wanted to know why, but
I have no idea.
Maybe it's because
when it comes to contracts, man, they're over my head. I got to do my due diligence on those. But I did see he signed his ELC 3 years.
Because the max has been like that. The max has been like that for. I'm pretty sure Connor McDavid signed to that. Matthews signed to that. But then they also quite a few years, and then it just.
Do they all get different bonuses though?
So I have done some research, and a signing bonus can only be 10% of their contract. So I think Connor Bedard total salary wise comes in at 2.85, and with a bonus would make around $3 million total. That's total, which is absurd and silly. And of course, it doesn't. There's no talk about his sponsorships, et cetera, but I think this could be something moving into a new direction.
So how much did you say it was? Not $950?
Yeah.
So I just did a quick little Google search, and entry-level contract is a 2-way deal, and the maximum salary for a player that is drafted in 2023 is set at $950,000 annually. So it must be new.
Yeah, it's good. I'm going to actually make a YouTube video and my opinion on it, but Something that the league is not good at is marketing. They suck at it. And kids that are coming into the league suffer because of it. I took a look at the other leagues, and hockey is utterly and disgustingly paid way lower than any other league besides baseball. But baseball, when they're drafted, they can get a bonus of 9 mil, 10 mil, etc. Like
Wow.
Paul Skeens, I think is his name. He's a pitcher out of LSU that just got drafted by Pittsburgh first overall. He's signed to his signing bonus was $9.5 million or something like that. Like, it is absurd how much they get paid signing bonus wise, and the NHL doesn't get a fraction. Well, like, it is a fraction of that, but like,
hockey's an expensive sport, man.
It is, but
it's also not. It's not watched by everyone like the other sports are, which is, it sucks. But like you said, the marketing does suck for it. So I mean, if they could grow the game a little bit better, I mean, hope we could actually pay these players and not have this bullshit hard salary cap.
And it would help the league 100% more marketing, not marketing wise.
They should reach out to us and get us to market for them. Offside Hockey Talk.
Offside Hockey Talk. Hear that, NHL? We will market for you.
There you go. We'll probably do it for free too.
For who?
We'll do it for free.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. There you go. If that's it from you, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Of course, James couldn't join us for another one in the summer, but that's okay. He's busy. He's got his little girl's birthday tomorrow, I do believe so. So we hope all is well with James. We hope all is well with everybody that is listening. Thank you for stopping by. We will see you in the next one. Peace.